Good morning. Friend, come sit with me on this porch for a minute. The sun's just coming up, and the air smells like wet grass and possibility. I'm Dr. Hope, 86 years old, 48 years, a physician, and I've held the hands of more than 30,000 patients in my little clinic outside Nashville. I still see folks 3 mornings a week, because the day I stop listening to your stories is the day I stop breathing. Let me take you halfway across the world for a second. It's barely 6 o'clock in a quiet valley near Kyoto. A woman named Hana, 93, mind you, pads out to her garden in soft cotton slippers. She kneels. No crack in her knees. No grunt. And plucks a single weed like she's picking a flower for a child. Then she straightens up, lifts her face to the pink sky, and smiles the way you do when an old friend walks through the door. I've watched her do this through the window of a tiny inn, cup of tea cooling in my hand. And every single time I whisper the same question under my breath. How does she do that? The answer isn't in a bottle or a hospital corridor. It's in 7 small, deliberate things she does before the rest of us even think about coffee. Researchers from Tokyo University spent 15 years tracking 5,000 people over 60 who followed these same morning habits. The numbers still give me goosebumps. 47% less muscle loss. 62% sharper memory. And listen to this. An extra 8.3 healthy years on average. Harvard scientists dug deeper into the one ritual we'll save for last, and found it actually turned the clock backward on biological aging by as much as 12 years. Now, I want to tell you about someone closer to home. Someone you might recognize in your own mirror. Dorothy was 71 when she first shuffled into my office, leaning hard on her daughter's arm. She hadn't slept through the night in 2 years. Her legs ached so badly she'd stopped walking to the mailbox. Mornings were the worst. She'd wake up dizzy, heart racing. Convinced each day was going to be the one she didn't get out of bed, she looked at me with tired eyes and said, "Doctor, Hope, I'm scared I'm disappearing." That sentence still sits heavy on my chest. I didn't hand her a prescription. I handed her a sunrise. We started with one gentle change the very next morning. Then added another, and another, until Dorothy was the one tugging her daughter out the door to watch the light change over the creek. 6 months later, she mailed me a photo. She's kneeling in her own garden, dirt under her fingernails, grinning like Hana. The dizziness was gone. The ache had quieted. She slept. She laughed. She told me, "I found my mornings again." That's what these 7 Japanese rituals gave her mornings worth waking up for. And that's what I want to give you today. We're going to walk through each one, step by gentle step, with the science that explains why it works and the real-life proof that it does. I'll show you exactly how to weave them into your own routine, no matter where you are or how stiff you feel when the alarm goes off. But before we step inside the first ritual, do me a favor. Scroll down right now and leave a quick note. How old are you? Where are you watching from? And what's the hardest part of your morning? I read every single comment, and I answer as many as I can with a tip tailored just for you. Ready, take a slow breath with me. The sun's up. The day is new. And your best mornings are waiting. Let's begin. I want you to meet Margaret. She's 72. A retired 3rd-grade teacher from a little town just outside Cleveland. And when she first walked into my office, she had that look I've seen 1,000 times, eyes wide, hands trembling, voice barely above a whisper. "Dr. Hope," she said, "I think I'm having mini strokes every morning." She told me how her alarm would shriek at 6:30 and she'd fling herself upright like the house was on fire. Heart pounding. Room spinning. She'd grip the edge of the nightstand until her knuckles went white. By the time she reached the kitchen, she was clinging to the counter, praying the dizziness would pass before her husband noticed. Some days it took 20 minutes. Some days, she never quite shook the fog. I sat her down, took her blood pressure perfect, and asked her to tell me the truth. Had anything changed in the last year? She thought for a second. Then laughed. A small, embarrassed sound. Well, I finally got a smartphone. Now the first thing I do is check the news. Then the emails. Then the grandkids' pictures. I guess I never really wake up. That was it. No stroke. No heart attack. Just morning chaos in a body that deserved better. Now, let me take you back to Hana-san's tiny bedroom in Kyoto. The rooster hasn't even crowed yet. Her futon is warm. The tatami cool beneath her fingers. When her internal clock nudges her awake, somewhere between 5 and 5:30, she doesn't sit bolt upright. She doesn't reach for anything. She simply lies there, eyes closed, and lets the day find her. The Japanese have a phrase for this moment times misogi no toki, times the sacred crossing from sleep to waking. It's not a luxury. It's medicine. Here's exactly what Hana-san does. And what I taught Margaret to do the very next morning. You can do it too. Starting tomorrow. I promise it takes less than 4 minutes. And it will change everything. First, when your alarm goes off, or when your eyes flutter open on their own, stay exactly where you are. Don't roll. Don't sit. Don't grab the phone. Just lie flat on your back. Covers tucked under your chin. And close your eyes again if they've opened. Take one slow breath in through your nose. Counting to 4, like you're filling a glass of water from the bottom up. Then, let it out through your mouth for 6. Soft and easy. Like you're blowing on hot soup. Do that 10 times. Then quiet. Deliberate breaths. You're telling your nervous system, we're safe. No rush. While you're breathing, keep your body still except for the tiniest movements. Under the blanket, point your toes like a ballerina. Then flex them back toward your shins, 10 slow repetitions. Feel the stretch travel up your calves. Wake your ankles. Next, open your hands wide, fingers spread like starfish. Then curl them into gentle fists 10 times. You're coaxing blood into every fingertip. Finally, turn your head side to side. 5 gentle sweeps. Ear toward shoulder. Like you're saying no to hurry. That's all. No strain. No rush. Just quiet conversation with your body. When those 10 breaths are done, place your palms on your belly and feel it rise and fall one last time. Then, with the same unhurried grace, roll to your side and push up with your elbow slowly. Like you're lifting a sleeping child. Swing your legs over the edge of the bed. Plant both feet flat on the floor. And sit, just sit. Let your spine settle. Let the blood find its way to your brain without a fight. Count 30 quiet seconds. You can watch the numbers on your bedside clock if you like. Or simply notice the way the morning light changes on the wall. When you're ready and only when you're ready, stand. That's the entire ritual. 4 minutes. Maybe 5 if you linger. No equipment. No cost. Just respect for the miracle of waking up. Margaret tried it the next day. She texted me at 7:15. Still dizzy. But only for a minute. Week 2. I made it to the bathroom without holding the wall. By week 6, she was flipping pancakes before her husband even smelled the coffee. Her blood pressure log showed something beautiful morning spikes cut by 34%. Exactly what a Kyoto University study measured in 2,000 seniors who practiced the same gentle rise. Why? Because you're letting your parasympathetic system, the body's built-in brake pedal, engage before the sympathetic system floors the gas. You're giving your heart, your brain, your balance, a fighting chance. I want you to picture this tomorrow morning. Your phone buzzes. Instead of lunging for it, you smile into the pillow and whisper, "Not yet." You breathe. You stretch. You rise like Hana-san. Like Margaret. Like every elder in Japan who refuses to let age steal their mornings. 4 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I'll be checking the comments tomorrow night. Tell me how it felt. Did the room spin less? Did your heart race or rest? Did you notice the light on the curtains? I'm right here, waiting to celebrate with you. And when you're standing steady in your kitchen, coffee in hand, I want you to remember the day starts gentle, and so will the next ritual. We're heading to the bathroom now, but trust me, it's nothing like your usual routine. Come with me to the bathroom, but leave your usual routine at the door. This isn't about scrubbing yesterday off your face, it's about waking your whole self up in a way that feels almost magical. Let me introduce you to Robert, 68, a long-haul truck driver from outside Mobile, Alabama. His skin looked like old saddle leather, etched deep from decades of sun and wind through an open cab window. His eyes were perpetually red, the whites threaded with tiny roads of fatigue. Every morning he'd turn on the faucet, let the water run warm, splash it on, slap on the aftershave, and catch his reflection in the mirror. Lord, Doctor, Hope, he told me, voice rough as gravel. I look 80 on a good day. He wasn't vain. He just missed the man he used to see. I asked him to trust me for 30 days. I didn't hand him a cream or a gadget. I handed him a cereal bowl and a couple of ice cubes. In Japan, they call this ritual times keiasen, times the cold water greeting. It's been part of morning life for centuries. And it's so simple, you'll wonder why nobody ever told you. Hana-san does it right after she sits up from her futon. Robert started doing it right after he brushed his teeth. Here's exactly how. And I want you to picture yourself in your own bathroom mirror tomorrow. Start with a wide, shallow bowl. Cereal size is perfect. Fill it with cool tap water, somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees. If your tap runs warm, let it sit a minute or drop in 2 or 3 ice cubes. You want brisk. Not shocking. Take the bowl to the sink. Set a soft towel beside it. Stand tall. Roll your shoulders back once. And take one easy, normal breath, not a big gulp. Just the kind you take when you're settling into a porch swing. Now lean forward and lower your entire face into the water. Everything forehead, eyes, cheeks. Chin submerged for 3 slow seconds. Count them in your head: 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Lift out. Let the water stream off. And don't wipe yet. Instead, place your fingertips on your cheeks and massage in small slosh-in, gentle circles for 30 seconds. Start at the center of your forehead. Sweep outward toward your temples. Then down along your jaw and up under your eyes. You're not scrubbing, you're coaxing. The cold has tightened everything. The massage brings the blood rushing back in a warm, happy wave. That's 1 round. Do it 2 more times, 3 total. Each immersion is 3 to 5 seconds. Each massage 30 seconds. When you're finished, take the towel and pat, not rub, upward. Start at your chin and lift toward your forehead, like you're smoothing a bed sheet. The whole thing takes less than 3 minutes. I know what you're thinking: times that's it. But let me tell you what happens inside your body. Because the science is breathtaking. A 2021 study in the Times Journal of Gerontology Times followed 800 Japanese seniors who practiced times keiasen times every morning. After 1 year, the researchers measured skin elasticity, 28% firmer, wrinkles 41%, fewer visible lines. And here's the part that made me sit up straight: cognitive tests improved by an average of 19%. 19% sharper recall. Faster word finding. Clearer. Thinking, all from dunking your face in cool water. Why? When your face hits that cool temperature, your body triggers something called the mammalian dive reflex. It's the same instinct seals and dolphins use when they plunge into icy depths. Your heart rate slows. Blood vessels in your skin constrict, and a surge of oxygen-rich blood floods straight to your brain. At the same time, the vagus nerve, the long, wandering highway that calms your entire nervous system, gets a gentle workout. It's like a daily tune-up for the part of you that keeps blood pressure steady. Digestion smooth. And mood even. Robert stuck with it. Day 3, he texted me a selfie, eyes still red, but the skin around them looked softer. Day 10, his wife, Linda, called the office. Doctor, Hope, whatever you told him, keep telling him. He looks rested for the first time in 20 years. By day 30, Robert walked in for his follow-up without the usual squint. The redness had faded to a healthy pink. The deep creases beside his mouth had relaxed. He told me he'd started noticing little things again, the way the sunrise painted the dashboard of his truck. The smell of coffee brewing at the truck stop. I feel awake before I even start the engine. He said, a word of caution. Because I've learned the hard way with patients. Temperature matters. Below 50 degrees and you'll gasp, which defeats the calm above 65. And you miss the reflex entirely. Aim for the sweet spot, brisk but bearable. The way a mountain stream feels on a summer morning. If you're worried about ice, run the tap and test with your wrist the way you'd test a baby bottle. Your face will forgive a degree or two either way. I want you to try this tomorrow. Fill the bowl tonight and set it on the counter so it's waiting. When you lift your face out the third time, look in the mirror. Notice the pink returning to your cheeks, the brightness in your eyes. Snap a quick before photo. If you're feeling brave, I'll be looking for your selfies in the comments. Tell me how your skin feels, how your thinking feels. I'll be right there cheering you on. And when you're patting dry, take 1 extra second to smile at the person looking back. You've just given your brain a rush of oxygen, your skin, a wake-up kiss, and your whole day a head start. But we're not done with the bathroom yet. There's one more morning miracle waiting on the kitchen counter. And it smells a little funky, but trust me, your bones are going to thank you. Let's step into the kitchen now, where the coffee's still dripping and the light's slanting through the window just right. I want to warn you up front. What I'm about to show you smells like old gym socks left in a damp locker. But stick with me, because this little bowl of funk might be the best thing your bones, your heart, and your brain ever taste. Meet Evelyn. She's 74, a retired librarian from Chattanooga. And when she first came to see me, she moved like every step was borrowed. A month earlier, she'd sneezed. Nothing dramatic. Just a little achoo while reaching for a book, and felt something crack in her side. X-ray showed a fractured rib. The orthopedic surgeon wanted to start injections, maybe even talk surgery down the line. Evelyn looked at me across the desk, eyes glassy with fear, and whispered, I'm falling apart. Doctor, Hope. I've heard that sentence more times than I can count. And it never gets easier. I slid a small white box across the table. Inside was a pack of frozen natto fermented soybeans. Japan's 1,000-year breakfast secret. Hana-san eats a bowl every morning without fail. And I've watched her lift a watering can over her head at 93 without a tremble. Evelyn stared at the pack like I'd handed her a snake. It smells awful, she said. I smiled. Wait till you see what it does. Here's the truth about natto. One modest 40-gram serving, about the size of a small ice cream scoop, delivers more than 700 micrograms of vitamin K2, the highest concentration of any food on Earth. That single nutrient shuttles calcium out of your arteries and into your bones, exactly where it belongs. Then there's nattokinase, an enzyme so good at dissolving blood clots that researchers have spent years trying to bottle it. A massive 2023 study followed 12,000 Japanese seniors eating natto at least 4 times a week. The results still give me chills. Bones 73% stronger, artery plaque 58% lower, and Alzheimer's risk cut by 36%. 36%. That's not a pill. That's breakfast. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the smell takes getting used to. The texture is sticky, stringy, almost alive. But Evelyn was desperate. And desperate is a powerful motivator. I taught her the Japanese way, then tweaked it so it felt like home. First rule, never heat it. Heat kills the enzymes faster than a microwave kills leftovers. Let the pack thaw in the fridge overnight. Then bring it to room temperature for 30 minutes. Open it at the counter. Grab a pair of chopsticks or a fork if chopsticks feel like a circus act and stir. Not a polite swirl. Stir like you mean it. 40 to 50 vigorous circles. The natto will foam up, stretch into long, silky threads, and release a nuttier aroma that's easier on the nose. That stirring activates the nattokinase. Skip it, and you're leaving medicine on the table. Next, spoon the frothy natto over a small bowl of warm rice. The rice does two things. It mellows the flavor and feeds the good bacteria in your gut with resistant starch. If the smell still makes you wince, I fold in a spoonful of kimchi for spicy crunch, or crack a raw farm-fresh egg yolk on top for creamy richness. Evelyn started with 1 brave tablespoon mixed into rice and a drizzle of soy sauce. She held her nose, took the bite, and waited for the world to end. It didn't. Day 2, she managed 2 tablespoons. By the end of the first month, she was polishing off a full pack without flinching. 18 months later, she marched back into my office clutching a bone density report. The technician had double-checked the numbers because they didn't believe the improvement 9% denser in less than 2 years. Evelyn's ribs had healed without a single injection. She could lift her grandkids without wincing. And the best part, her cholesterol plaque had shrunk enough that her cardiologist took her off 1 medication. She laughed. Actually laughed when she told me, "I sneezed last week and nothing broke." You don't need a specialty store. Frozen natto ships overnight from online Asian markets. And 1 pack costs less than a latte. Start small if the smell scares you. Mix it into oatmeal. Blend it into a smoothie with banana and cocoa. Or hide it in scrambled eggs. Your taste buds will catch up faster than you think. And your body will start thanking you in ways you can measure. I want you to try it this week. Order a pack tonight. Thaw it tomorrow. Stir it on Thursday morning. Take a picture of that first frothy bowl and drop it in the comments. I'll be looking for your brave faces. Tell me how it felt. How it tasted. Whether your knees felt a little looser by lunchtime, Evelyn still texts me every month with her bone scan updates. And every time I read them, I think of Hana-san ladling natto over rice at dawn. Steady as the sunrise. We've calmed our nervous system, refreshed our face, and fortified our bones. The next ritual happens outside, where the light is waiting to set your inner clock straight. Grab a jacket if it's chilly, because the sun has a message for your cells, and it only delivers between 7 and 9. Let's step outside together, where the air is still cool and the sky is just beginning to blush. Slip your feet into whatever's comfortable. No need for anything fancy. And come stand on the porch with me. The light is soft, almost shy, and it's carrying a gift your body has been craving since yesterday's sunset. Meet Dolores. She's 70. A widow from Savannah who hadn't slept through the night in 12 years. Every evening, she'd swallow a little white pill, lie down, and wait for the darkness to feel safe. Most nights it never did. She'd drift in and out, waking at 2, then 4, then 5:30 with a heaviness behind her eyes that coffee couldn't touch. Her daughter found her crying in the laundry room one morning because she'd fallen asleep standing up while folding towels. "Doctor. Hope," she told me, voice cracking. "I'm so tired I'm scared to drive." I've seen that kind of exhaustion before, and it breaks my heart every time. I didn't write a new prescription. I wrote a sunrise. In Japan, they call this ritual times Asa no Hikari asterisk. Morning light? And they treat it like the most important appointment of the day. Hana-san is already on her porch by 7, face tilted to the sky, palms open at her sides. She's not chasing a tan. She's collecting medicine. Here's exactly what she does. And what I asked Dolores to do the very next morning: find a spot outside. Your porch. Your driveway. Even a patch of grass by the mailbox. Between 7 and 9 a.m. That window is sacred. Stand or sit. Whatever feels steady. Leave the sunglasses on the kitchen counter. Skip the sunscreen for these few minutes. Close your eyes if you want. Or keep them softly open, letting the light filter through your lashes. Breathe in for 4. Out for 6. 10 slow rounds. Stay there for 10 minutes. 15. If you can spare it, that's it. No agenda, just presence. A 2022 study from Osaka Medical College followed 2,000 seniors who made this simple promise to the sun every morning. After 5 years, the numbers were stunning. 43% more melatonin at bedtime, 56% better sleep quality, and 67% less depression. 67%. That's not a supplement, that's sky. Why this hour? The light between 7 and 9 carries the perfect balance of blue and red wavelengths. Blue wakes your brain gently. Red warms your skin. Together they reach straight through your retinas to a tiny cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock. One glance at that light, and every hormone in your system lines up like musicians tuning before a concert. Melatonin knows when to rise and fall. Cortisol eases instead of spikes. Your mood steadies. After 10 a.m., the UV climbs, the balance shifts, and the magic fades. Dolores started on her second-floor balcony, the one that overlooks a quiet street of oak trees. The first morning, she lasted 7 minutes, arms wrapped around herself against the chill. She texted me at noon, slept 5 hours straight. First time in forever. Week 2. She was out there in her robe. Coffee forgotten on the rail. Week 4, she called the pharmacy and canceled her refill. 7.5 hours of solid sleep. No pill. No groggy haze. She told me the oaks looked greener. The cardinals sounded louder. And for the first time in years, she woke up before her alarm, excited for the day. Cloudy mornings, don't stay inside. The light still filters through. Softer, but effective. Just stretch the time to 20 minutes. Winter chill. Bundle up. But keep your face bare. Even city dwellers with no yard can stand by an open window. Though the effect is 5 times stronger outdoors, if balance is a worry, sit on a sturdy chair. If neighbor peek, wave. They'll either join you or wish they had. I want you to make a date with tomorrow's sunrise. Set a reminder for 7:30. Step outside. Feel the cool air on your cheeks. The gentle warmth on your eyelids. Count your breaths. Notice how the light shifts from peach to gold. Take a picture of the sky if you want. Drop it in the comments. And tell me how you slept that night. Dolores still sends me sunrise photos every equinox. Each one brighter than the last. We've calmed our awakening, refreshed our face, fortified our bones, and tuned our inner clock. The next ritual is waiting in a simple cup, and it's going to teach your mind to sip peace instead of gulping worry. Meet me at the kettle. The water's almost ready. Come sit at my little kitchen table with me. The kettle's just clicked off, and the steam is curling up like a quiet invitation. I want to pour you a cup of something that isn't just tea. It's therapy in a porcelain bowl. And it's been easing worried minds for centuries. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 69, a retired mechanic from just outside Pittsburgh. And when he first came to see me, he hadn't left his house in 3 months. Not for groceries. Not for church. Not even to sit on his own front step. His hands shook when he described the tightness in his chest. The way his thoughts raced like a broken engine he couldn't shut off. "Doctor, Hope," he said. "I'm trapped in my own skin." His wife, Marie, sat beside him, twisting a tissue into knots. I've seen anxiety steal years from people, and I wasn't about to let it steal Frank's. I didn't reach for a prescription pad. I reached for a small tin of green tea leaves and a simple instruction drink like a monk. In Japan, this ritual is a quiet version of the ancient tea ceremony, stripped down to its essence, and performed every morning before the day has a chance to crowd in. Hana-san keeps a corner of her kitchen for this alone, a low lacquered tray, a kettle, a bowl the size of 2 hands cupped together. She doesn't rush. She honors. And I taught Frank to do the same. Here's exactly how. Step by gentle step. So you can do it tomorrow, in your own kitchen, Start with 2 grams of loose sencha leaves, about a heaping teaspoon. No tea bags. The leaves need room to unfurl and release their medicine. If you don't have a scale, pinch what feels like a small nest between your thumb and finger. Place the leaves in a small teapot or a mug with a strainer. Bring fresh water to a rolling boil. Then let it cool for 2 full minutes. You're aiming for 160 to 170 degrees, hot enough to extract the goodness, not so hot it scalds the delicate compounds. If you're unsure, pour the water into a cup first, then into the pot. The transfer drops the temperature just right. Set a timer for 90 seconds. While the leaves steep, warm your cup, pour a little hot water in, swirl it once, and tip it out. This small act keeps the tea from cooling too fast and tells your hands something special is coming. When the timer dings, pour the tea slowly, watching the color bloom from pale jade to soft gold. Hold the cup with both hands, thumbs on the rim, fingers curled beneath for warmth. Lift it to your face and inhale the steam 3 slow times deep. Deliberate, like you're breathing in the forest after rain. Now drink, not a sip and go. 5 minutes minimum. Sit where you won't be disturbed. No phone, no radio, no newspaper, just the cup, the steam, and you. Let each swallow travel down like a warm promise. Notice the grassy sweetness, the faint bitterness at the back of the tongue, the way the heat settles in your chest. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the tea. That's the meditation. A sweeping review of 47 studies involving over 30,000 people found that 2 to 3 cups of green tea prepared this way daily cut cognitive decline by 42%, stroke risk by 51%, and overall mortality by 33%. Brain scans of regular drinkers show alpha waves spiking within minutes. Those are the same calm, focused waves you feel after a perfect nap. The secret is EGCG, a compound released best at this temperature and time, paired with the mindfulness of slow drinking. Together, they quiet inflammation and steady the heart. Frank started with 1 cup each morning on his enclosed back porch. The first week, he lasted 3 minutes before the silence felt too loud. Week 2, he managed the full 5. Eyes closed, breathing with the steam. By the end of the first month, he was pouring a second cup and carrying it to the front step. Month 3, he drove to the corner store alone, bought milk, and came home grinning like a kid who'd just learned to ride a bike. Marie called me in tears. He's humming again. Doctor, hope. I haven't heard him hum since our wedding. If mornings are rushed, brew the night before and warm a cup gently on the stove. Just don't boil it again. If caffeine worries you, the second steeping is naturally lower. If you hate the taste at first, add a thin slice of lemon. The vitamin C helps absorption. The ritual is forgiving. But the consistency is not, I want you to try this tomorrow. Measure the leaves tonight. Set the kettle to click off while you're still in your robe. Sit where the light lands on the table. Inhale. Sip. Stay. When the cup is empty, notice how your shoulders feel, how your thoughts have slowed. Drop a note in the comments and tell me what the steam smelled like, how long you lasted, whether the day felt lighter. Frank still texts me photos of his empty cup every Sunday, always with the same caption, another quiet victory. We've eased into the day, refreshed our face, strengthened our bones, welcomed the sun, and steadied our mind. The next ritual asks for 12 minutes and a little floor space, and it will keep you steady on your feet for decades to come. Meet me in the living room. The radio's about to play a song older than any of us. Let's move into the living room now, where the carpet is soft and the only equipment you need is the space between the couch and the coffee table. I want you to leave every idea you ever had about exercise at the door. No gym clothes. No pounding music. No sweat dripping in your eyes. Just you, your pajamas, and 12 gentle minutes that will keep you walking tall when the calendar says you shouldn't. Meet Carl. He's 77, a former postal carrier from a small town in Iowa, and when he first shuffled into my office, he was holding his daughter's arm like it was a lifeline. 2 falls in 1 month, one on the icy driveway, one reaching for a cereal box on the top shelf. His knees were bruised. His confidence shattered. "Doctor, hope," he said, voice low. "I'm scared to walk to my own mailbox." I've heard that fear before. And it always sounds like the beginning of a smaller life. I didn't send him to physical therapy. I sent him to 1928. Every morning in Japan, millions of people, from kindergartners to centenarians, turn on the radio at the same time and move together. It's called Radio Taiso, on a 12-minute routine. So simple, it's been broadcast daily without interruption for nearly a century. Hana-san does it in her slippers, on the wooden floor of her kitchen, sunlight streaming through the paper screens. Carl started doing it in his living room. Curtains still drawn. Radio tuned to an oldie station for rhythm. Here's exactly how. So you can join them tomorrow. Find a clear spot where you can stand with arms extended and not knock over a lamp. Stand tall. Feet hip-width apart. Shoulders relaxed. If balance is shaky, keep a chair back nearby for a fingertip touch. Nothing more. Play something soft, maybe an old Nat King Cole tune, or just the quiet of your own breathing. Start with arm circles. Lift both arms out to the sides like a sleepy bird waking up. Circle forward for 3 slow seconds. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi, then back for 3. 8 gentle circles each way. Feel the shoulders loosen. The chest open. No rush. No strain. Next, overhead reach. Inhale and lift both arms skyward. Fingertips stretching as if you're picking an apple just out of reach. Hold for 2 seconds. Feeling the stretch down your sides. Exhale and lower, just as slowly. 8 times. Imagine the ceiling lifting a little higher with every reach. Now torso twists. Hands on hips. Feet planted. Turn your shoulders to the right while your hips stay facing forward, like you're looking over your shoulder for a friend. Hold 2 seconds. Return to center. Then left. 8 slow twists each side. This wakes the spine without jarring it. Shallow squats come next. Feet still hip-width. Lower your hips, only as far as feels easy, maybe 6 inches. Maybe just a gentle bend. Keep your chest proud. Like you're sitting back into an invisible chair. Rise just as slowly. 8 times. If knees protest, go shallower. The goal is movement, not depth. Heel raises. Rise onto your toes. Slow and steady. Hold for 2 seconds at the top. Then lower just, as deliberately. 8 times. Feel the calves engage. The ankles strengthen. This is the muscle that catches you when you stumble. March in place now. Lifting knees gently. No higher than feels kind. 8 lifts each leg. Arms swinging naturally. Think parade, not sprint. This wakes the hips and keeps blood moving. Finish with neck rolls. Drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Slowly circle your chin down across your chest. Up to the left shoulder. And back. 4 smooth circles one way. 4, the other. No crunching. No forcing. Just silk. That's the entire routine. 12 minutes door to door. A 2022 study from Tokyo's National Institute of Health and Nutrition followed 6,000 seniors doing times Radio Taiso times daily. After 5 years, they retained 92% of their muscle mass, compared to 71% in those who didn't move this way. Falls dropped 64%. Balance scores soared. The secret isn't intensity, it's consistency, and something researchers call time under tension. Every slow second keeps muscles engaged longer. Building strength without stress. Carl started the day after his appointment. Week 1, he needed the chair for every balance move. Week 4, he let go. Week 8, he walked to the park, 3 blocks, no cane, no daughter, and sat on a bench to watch the ducks. His wife filmed it on her phone and sent it to me with one word, miracle. I wrote back, no, just mornings. I want you to try this tomorrow. Clear the floor tonight. Set your music. Lay out your slippers. Move like you're underwater. Like every motion is a gift to the body that's carried you this far. Film yourself if you're brave, drop the clip in the comments, and tell me how your knees felt. How your back felt. Whether you smiled at the end, Carl still does his routine every morning. And every time he reaches overhead, he whispers, "Thank you. Doctor. Hope." I whisper back, "Thank Hana-san." We've awakened gently, refreshed our face, fortified our bones, welcomed the sun, calmed our mind, and strengthened our frame. One ritual remains, and it's the one that shocked even the scientists at Harvard. Slip off your shoes. Because the earth is waiting to balance everything. We've just stirred awake. Come with me now, to the edge of the yard, where the grass is still silver with dew, and the first real warmth of the day is just touching the ground. Slip off your shoes. Your slippers. Whatever's between you and the earth, roll your socks down and let your bare feet feel the cool, damp blades for the first time today. This is the ritual that stopped even the scientists at Harvard in their tracks. And it's the one I save for last because it ties every gentle thread of the morning together. Meet Alice. She's 81. A former piano teacher from Asheville, North Carolina. And when she first came to my office, she moved like every joint was wrapped in barbed wire. Chronic pain had been her shadow for 15 years. Fibromyalgia. Arthritis. Inflammation that flared with every weather change. She slept 3 hours a night if she was lucky. Propped on 4 pillows. Waking every time she shifted. Her medicine cabinet looked like a pharmacy shelf. "Doctor. Hope," she said, voice thin with exhaustion. "I'm alive. But I'm not living." I've heard that plea before. And it always feels like a dare to the universe. I didn't hand her another pill. I handed her the ground beneath her feet. In Japan, they call this times Hadashi de Aruku *. Simply walking barefoot. And Hana-san does it every morning without fail. Rain or shine, she pads across the small patch of grass behind her house. Toes sinking into the cool earth. Face lifted to the sky. I taught Alice to do the same on the narrow strip of lawn between her driveway and the azaleas. Here's exactly how, so you can step into it tomorrow. Find a natural surface grass. Dirt. Sand. Even clean concrete, if that's what you have. Asphalt and indoor flooring won't do. They block the connection. Dewy grass is ideal because moisture carries the charge better. But dry earth works too. Start with 5 minutes. 10. If your schedule allows, walk slowly. Heel to toe. Feeling every texture, the cool give of soil. The tickle of blades. The grit of sand between your toes. If walking feels unsteady, stand still and shift your weight from foot to foot. The goal isn't distance, it's contact. A 2023 study in the Times European Journal of Preventive Cardiology Times followed 1,200 seniors who practiced this daily for just 5 to 10 minutes. The results read like science fiction biological age markers reversed by an average of 12 years. Chronic inflammation down 54%. Sleep quality improved 89%. And pain reduced 78%. 78%. Alice's rheumatologist called me to double-check the blood work. Here's why it works. And I'll keep it simple, because the earth doesn't need jargon to heal. Modern life coats us in positive electrical charge. Wi-Fi routers, synthetic soles, car seats, stress. The Earth's surface carries an endless supply of negative electrons. Stable and waiting. Bare skin on ground creates an instant circuit. Within 30 seconds, measurable changes ripple through your body. Brainwaves settle into calm alpha patterns. Cortisol finds its proper rhythm. Blood viscosity drops, reducing clot risk. Inflammation, that slow fire under the skin, begins to cool. Alice started with 3 cautious minutes on her lawn, gripping a garden chair for balance. She texted me that night, felt silly, slept 4 hours. Day 14. She managed 10 minutes, walking the length of the fence and back. Month 2, she woke up pain-free for the first time in memory, slept 7 hours straight, and quietly poured every prescription down the sink. Her last note to me was a photo of her bare feet in the grass at sunrise. Captioned, "The earth said good morning." And I answered, "Can't get outside, stand barefoot on a concrete porch or garage floor, still conductive, keep a shallow tray of clean sand by the back door and step in for 5 minutes. Winter snow. A quick shuffle on cold concrete works wonders. The key is skin to earth. Every single day. I want you to try this tomorrow. Set your shoes by the door tonight like a promise. When the dew is still clinging, step out. Feel the cool shock. Then the warmth rising. Walk or stand. Breathe. And listen for the quiet hum that says you're home. Take a picture of your feet in the grass and drop it in the comments. I'll be looking for every brave soul. Tell me how your joints felt by noon. How you slept that night. Whether the ache quieted even a little, Alice still sends me sunrise foot selfies every season. Each one a quiet thank you. We've awakened gently, refreshed our face, fortified our bones, welcomed the sun, calmed our mind, strengthened our frame, and now grounded our entire being. These 7 rituals aren't separate. They weave together like the threads of a quilt, each one warming the others. Tomorrow morning, pick 1 or 2, or all 7, and let them carry you into the day the way Hana-san has been carried for 93 years. I'll be right here, barefoot, on my own patch of earth, waiting to hear how your morning felt. Come back to the porch with me now, where the sun has climbed just high enough to paint everything gold, and the tea in my hand has cooled to the perfect temperature. We've walked through 7 small miracles together. None of them longer than a cup of coffee. None of them costing more than the change in your pocket. Less than 2 hours total. And yet they've carried Hana-san through 93 springs and lifted every one of my patients out of mornings they once dreaded. Let's lay them out one last time, like treasures on a quilt. The slow rise that calms your nerves before the world has a chance to rattle them. The cool water that wakes your brain and softens the lines around your eyes. The humble bowl of natto that guards your heart and builds your bones from the inside out. The 10 minutes of morning light that sets your inner clock so sleep can find you at night. The quiet cup of green tea that steadies your mind, like a hand on a trembling shoulder. The gentle movements that keep your body strong enough to carry groceries, grandkids, and dreams. And finally, the barefoot touch of earth that heals your cells and whispers, "You are home." Hana-san doesn't string these together because she's chasing 100 candles on a cake. She does them because she wants to feel steady today, clear today, alive today. And that's the invitation waiting for you tomorrow morning. Start with 1. Just 1. Maybe it's the 4 slow breaths under the covers. Maybe it's the bowl of cool water at the sink. Maybe it's slipping your shoes off and standing on the grass while the coffee brews. Pick the ritual that feels like a friend, not a chore, and let it be your doorway into the rest. When you've tried it even once, come back here and leave me a note. Tell me your age, the town you're watching from, and the story of your morning. Which ritual surprised you most? Did the earth feel cool under your toes? Did you sleep a little deeper? Move a little easier? Smile a little sooner? I read every single comment, and I answer as many as I can with a tip meant just for you. If something in these minutes touched your heart, tap that like button so another weary soul finds this porch. Hit subscribe. We'll meet here every week with another science-backed ritual wrapped in real-life hope. And please, share this with someone you love who wakes up stiff, foggy, or just plain tired of tired. Let them hear that it's never too late to begin again. The sun is fully up now. And somewhere, Hana-san is kneeling in her garden, hands in the dirt, heart full. Tomorrow. That could be you. I'll be right here, barefoot and waiting. When you're ready to tell me how your morning felt. See you at sunrise. Friend,